Hello everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Wokey, and I'm back with another Fake Grand Order video. And what are we going to be talking about today? Well, today I'm doing a video that I've been meaning to do for a very long time. I was supposed to do this video back before 2026 was even supposed to be here, but I'm going to be taking a look and seeing how many tickets and sync quartz are going to be given to me before the 9th anniversary. Now, originally when I'd like to do these videos, or at least back in the day, the way I like to do them is I like to look over the entire year, but obviously we're here in March already. And yeah, I figure the best way to do it is to just kind of look until anniversary, and then after the damage that is received to me from anniversary and summer, take a step back and then look what's going to be coming for the remainder of the year. And I feel like that's probably the best way to handle it, because I already kind of see FGO as two different ways. And it's going to be really funky this year. Now that I think about, there's no reason for me to sub it on New Year's at all. But yeah, that's kind of the way the breakdown goes. So that's going to be today's video. I hope you like it. If you do, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully any of the hopefully any of the information here is helpful for you in some way. A lot of it, like I said, is tailored to me, but I did try and think of other people while I was making it, and maybe it's just enough to see how many St. Quartz are going to be there. The biggest issue with doing this is that it's very nebulous how much of this is actually legitimately going to the person. I don't know, because some of these St. Quartz that I'd be getting are from completing the most recent ordeal call and stuff like that. So if you're a newer player, who's to even say you'd be able to make it to that and be able to collect those St. Quartz and stuff like that. But and there's a couple other examples that I'll bring up when we get there. But yeah, that's as always, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And also, if I get any of the numbers wrong, please let me know, and I will update. There should be at the bottom the grand total, and I'll update it if someone corrects me and it turns out that I was off. Like, this happens all the time. I'm terrible with numbers. I try to do my best. But yeah, if you see an issue with any of the numbers, let me know immediately, and then I will gladly fix it, update it. I can't do it for the video, but I will at least leave a comment saying the true total. But anyway, let's continue on. So this is the part of the video where we talk about, like, I guess if someone else was doing this type of video, they'd probably be like, okay, so here's where we're going to start, and we're going to count it up, and then at the end, I'm going to reveal the grand total. But I don't really do that, so let me show you it real quick. Here's the grand total. As you can see, it's a grand total of 942 St. Quartz, at least based off of how I calculated it up, and 83 tickets. And I guess to start explaining some of this, so Anime Expo, I swear this is going to make sense, is from July 2nd to the July 5th, and we typically have our anniversary on the Saturday of Anime Expo, so that this year that would be July 4th. And if you don't know this, I try and explain this every single video, but our anniversary coincides with Anime Expo. So I can go over here. As you can see from last year, it was on July 5th, and the year before that, it was July 6th. And then if you even go back all the way to 2021, you can see right there, July 3rd. So very simple enough stuff to say, but I always like to say it to bring it up. So as of the recording of this video, it is March 7th, and that means we have 17 weeks until the 4th of July, which is when is our likely anniversary it's going to be. And in that time, we get 3 St. Quartz from the weeklies for 17 weeks, which means we get 21 St. Quartz fragments, and that will equal to 7 of them equals 1. And so over the 17 weeks, that should equal to 51 St. Quartz. And then we also get 4 St. Quartz over daily login. And I'm really assuming that the person listening to this video, I know I'm doing this, is logging in every single day, which makes certain other things to talk about, which I'll talk about a little bit later when they come in, hard to calculate. But yeah, I'm going to assume that you're logging in every single day, and starting from now, this is when your login bonus would start. This is also where it can get a little bit funky with some of the St. Quartz numbers, where it could be adjusted in some kind of way, depending on if you already received some other St. Quartz or something. But again, I had to base it off of me because that was my best way. Trying to factor it in for everyone would drive me insane. And then that would be a grand total of 68 after this, after 17 weeks. And then over the 4 months that are going to be happening, I'm going to assume you've already picked up the 5 tickets for this month, so we'll get 20 tickets. And at the end of the 7-day login, we also get 1 ticket, so that would mean 17 tickets there. So as of this recording, there's 119 days away from the 4th of July, so that means it's possible to get two 50-day login bonuses minimum. So that would mean you would get at least 60 cent quartz. It's possible for someone to get 90 cent quartz if within the next 18 days or so they are able to get a 50-day login bonus, because then that means their next 100 days would fall in purview of before the 4th of July, or exactly on the 4th of July and such of that. Again, another way that the funky numbers kind of don't apply here. I know for me, I can only get really 2 in that span, so that's why I included it that way. And then to explain some things, here's how I kind of drew it up, is that we're going to start from ID chapter release, and then since that is coming up, and then I'm not counting strengthenings because I can't tell if you have the unit. The only exception I'm gonna have is if they are welfares or very easy to get 3 stars that are not story locked or something like that, or limited in some kind of capacity, and they get a strengthening. I won't count those, but if they are at least welfare or easy to get, I'm definitely counting them. And then the count ends at anniversary when they give us that whole big deluge of stuff. Oh, and for interludes, I'm only going to count the brand new ones that we get. The reason is that there's going to be a couple campaigns where they're going to give us access to interludes that we would not normally get if we did not own the unit. But there's no way for me to know for the existing ones if you've done those already. So for the ones that are getting brand new interludes and they're going to let us do them early on, while we don't own them for a brief window of time, those are going to be counted towards the total, and I have counted them towards the total. And yeah, that's the basics of it. With all those out of the way, we'll actually take a look and do this all, and I'll show you where all of the numbers I'm getting from. We'll go start with March, and any specific other like little side things that I've taken note of, we will also take note of. So let me take a pause and I will drink my drink. All right, I took my drink break. My throat is completely dead because I played Commander with my friends today, and there's a lot of talking in that one and a lot of screaming. But anyway, ID chapter release. Start with this. We should be getting 14 cent quartz from a login bonus. Now, we obviously don't get the Chaldea broadcast volume 21, but whatever stream we have related to this, they'll find a way to give us 14 cent quartz, and that's where that will come from. And then from the event itself, I won't show anything in case there's like some way to spoil someone through a main quest and a free quest, and you've gone this far and we're literally a couple days away from this and you're like, I really hope I don't get spoiled on a random fucking video like this. I just won't show them, but I have made a note here. We are getting 26 cent quartz from the main quest, 12 cent quartz from the free quest, and then we get 1 fragment, cent quartz fragment for each arrow in the main quest. That includes the ones that only have a single arrow. And I counted them all up, and that was 95 arrows. And for every 7 fragments, we get 1 cent quartz. So we should get 13 cent quartz and 4 leftover fragments. And if you have enough fragments left over to get an additional cent quartz, then obviously that you have 3 left over, then you would be able to have 14 technically. And that's a total of 65 cent quartz coming from the ID chapter release. And that's just from playing the game normally. And if you don't catch up to this in time for anniversary, then I guess you don't get them. But at least the 14 cent quartz from login bonus, everyone gets those. But let's move on. Here's another one where I'm not sure if we're getting this. So the Spring New Master aid campaign. The reason I'm not sure is that in the past, we got this closer to back to school. See, this is for us back to school. And then if we go over here for them, that was for them in March, so it's likely that this might get skipped over. The only reason that I think it's about a 50-50, actually closer to 75-25 with a small little ray of hope for some people, is that the year before that, which was 2024, we actually did have this in March. So it's possible. I'm just saying that based off of last year, they did wait until back to school campaign. So in case it happens, just keep an eye out. It would suck for a lot of people because Castoria is coming on this one, so let's hope. And also that means that if that happens, this would be moved to August and we would be losing some of these St. Quartz. You can see where I said some of the St. Quartz numbers get a little fucky, but let's continue. We'll at least know this pretty soon because they ID chapter release and Spring New Master launched at the same time. So if you don't see anything in the news for when ID chapter releases about this, I mean, we're skipping it very likely. But anyway, moving on. daily login bonus. We'll get 6 Saint quartz from this and a ticket, and then from limited time master missions an additional 6 Saint quartz and a ticket, and that is a grand total of 12 Saint quartz and 2 tickets. And we'll move on to Evocation Festival. Oh, there was one other thing I guess to talk about before I move on. We'll bring this up again just to show it, but obviously that's not going to apply to everyone. I do know that there's a Start Dash campaign and a comeback login bonus campaign. I'm not counting these because Start Dash is only applied if you're a brand new player and you start the second it shows up. So that means you're getting a whole buttload of Saint quartz that a lot of other players aren't getting, and that includes tickets. But that completely messes with the numbers, so I don't count them in. If you are a brand new player, feel free to count these if you're continuing to play. And then the comeback login bonus is another thing where it's like you have to have been gone for a certain amount of time and then come back in this window. And you'll get 30 Saint quartz from that, and that's another thing I can't really factor into, so you're gonna have to depend on you. So if you're someone who knows that they're gonna be coming back around this time or something, then I guess take note of it. Otherwise, it's one of those things where it's like I literally can't track it, but I will at least bring it up in case someone has questions about this. I'm gonna come back to this a little bit later. But anyway, Evocation Festival Part 8. From Evocation Festival Part 8, we get 10 Saint quartz from login. So you just make sure to log in a whole bunch and you'll get a whole lot of Saint quartz. 10 in total. And then from limited time master missions, if you complete these, you'll also get a grand total of 10. And then we'll get another 2 from a strengthening from Kagatora. Because she is a welfare, it's possible for anyone to get her. I'm going to count that as 2 Saint quartz for us. So that gives the total ground to 22 Saint quartz from Evocation Festival Part 8. Or Pilgrimage Festival, whichever way you like to call them. Next, we have Ordeal Call Campaign Part 6. And from Ordeal Call Part 6, we get 6 Saint quartz from right here, the campaign master missions related to the Bleached Earth. And this is another thing, if you're not caught up to the Bleached Earth, obviously you can't do these, so you would miss out on these 6 Saint quartz. So remember to keep, the game really wants you to be caught up. And if you're wondering how do I get to the Bleached Earth, you have to have beaten Lost Belt 7. So I would suggest getting a move on as quickly as you can. But we'll continue on to keep showing off some of the numbers. We have Witch of the Holy Night collab. 3 Saint quartz from login because of the login bonus. So boom, boom, boom. 3 right there. Simple enough. Then we move over to the Kumano Hot Springs. And from Kumano Hot Springs, we should get 5 tickets from missions. Which you can see right here. They're thankfully all here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from the free quests, from the main quests themselves, there's a grand total of 10. I won't go down them for the same reason I mentioned before, in case someone doesn't want to get spoiled on the final boss for the Kumano Hot Springs. I'm also very curious about what it is, and I tried to not look as quickly as I can. I just took a look at the Saint quartz, so we'll move on from there. That's Kumano. That's coming near end of March. Now, on March 29th, we'll hit 3,200 days and we'll celebrate the 3,200th anniversary. And that means that we will get 10 Saint quartz. Simple enough, right? An additional 10 Saint quartz from that. And then now, finally, we can talk about the other thing, which is over here in April. So this little thingy right here, this is the April Fool's event. So now we would get 10 Saint quartz from this. Usually they do it as an apology. We never have the same thing as Japan. We always do our own thing. So for example, last year it was the Fate Grand Order Home Run release campaign that we played right there. And then as a neat little bonus thing, they give us 10 Saint quartz, so that's likely where they come from. You can also see this is where the Returning Masters login bonus and comeback login also came back. So they were doing all kinds of things. But anyway, 10 Saint quartz from this. So that's another 10 Saint quartz down the drain. And here's another one where I don't know how they're going to deliver it to us, but they're going to deliver it to us. It is the survey rerun re-release campaign. So obviously we didn't get the survey. So if you don't know this, on JP, they did a survey saying which events would you like to see come back, and the 2 that were picked were Little Harlot and this specific summer with Summer Da Vinci that you see right here. And with it, they had a release campaign and a bunch of other stuff related to it. Obviously, we don't have any of that. They have, I've been told by other people who asked Albert, what are we going to be doing with this? And the answer was, we are going to have them. We're just not going to run a survey of some kind. You're just going to get them. So I'm going to assume that we're also going to get this re-release campaign. They'll probably call it something else, but that's my current assumption. So for part 1, we get 14 St. Quartz thanks to this login bonus from what is likely going to be a stream talking about some FGO things. And then an additional 6 St. Quartz from Master Missions, which you can see right there. And then on part 2, it is 4 St. Quartz right there. And then on part 3 over here, we will get 10 St. Quartz. Total of 10 right there. And then, so that combined will be a total of 34 St. Quartz. There's nothing in part 4. This is where there's just teapots and mana prisms for some reason. I don't know why they did it that way, but they did. These also are not concurrent. They're like all in different like times. So this is like May, the next week, June, stuff like that. So it's not like all at once. It is staggered out a little bit. And then next from the survey rerun, which is the Chaldean Summer Adventure survey rerun event. Over here, we'll get 8 St. Quartz from main quest. I can show this one off because we've already done this at least once. But you can see the St. Quartz down there. Easy enough to kind of factor in with everything. And then an additional amount of St. Quartz over here in the Mist quest for the mini scenario quests. And in the mini scenario quests, there are 7 and each one of them has a St. Quartz. So that will give us a grand total of 15 St. Quartz. And we'll move on from there. Next, we have Advanced Quest Part 18. It's crazy that they had this many of them. 3. And all the quest is like attempt an advanced quest and then clear any of them one time. Doesn't even have to be one of the new ones. It's just clear one of them. And now we'll move on to the Interlude campaign 19, where you can see both of my boys getting their interludes that will give them upgrades to their abilities, which I'm looking forward to. Now, we'll get 2 St. Quartz because for a limited time, even if you don't own these units, you will be able to play these interludes. And in that time, I would suggest doing them because you will get 1 St. Quartz from each of them. When it's a non-upgrade related to the interlude, you get 2, but when it's an upgrade, you only get 1. So this will get 1, that's 2. And then other campaigns will be a login bonus, and we'll get a total of 2 tickets. And we'll move on from Interlude campaign 19, and we'll go over to summer 2026 for us. This says 2024, but that's because it was the year 2024 for them. Participation aid campaign. 5 St. Quartz from the limited time master missions part 2. And then more limited time missions for master missions, and these will give an additional 5, so that's 10 in total from everything. So keep track of that. Now we're over here, and we're here on the Lilim rerun. Harlots. I don't know why I do that, but I do it all the time. Over on the main quest, we should get a grand total of I can't believe that they don't have them here. Give me a sec. Oh, actually, don't give me a sec. I can just go here. Lilim Harlot, and we'll go over to the main quest. Over on part 1 is the grand total of 12 St. Quartz, and over on part 2, it's 10, so that will give us 22 St. Quartz. And if you're wondering, hey, is there anything in the missions? There isn't. It's just a lot of material. No tickets. Not from what I could tell from here. I did my... Oh, no, there is a ticket right there. No, I did. My bad. I did factor them. I have it here. 2 tickets. So we'll just to prove it. I'll prove it. I could show it right here. 2 tickets. 2 tickets. I remembered them. I almost forgot them, but they're here. 1 ticket right there, and another ticket. Another ticket. Where is this other ticket? All right, give me a sec to pause and look for that other ticket. I'm stupid. I literally passed the ticket. This is why my brain is not working right now. I used it all on my commander game. Forgive me. But yeah, there we go. So that's a grand total of 22 St. Quartz and 2 tickets. Next, questionnaire. The questionnaire here, this is another one where I think we're likely to get another questionnaire. This should give us 4 tickets. It's really just answering a whole bunch of questions, but this was the Japanese side of them. They'll figure out a way to give us this in some kind of way. I don't remember if it'll be an exactly questionnaire, but they'll give it to us. Don't worry about it. At least I don't worry about it. That's why I'm considering it as us getting it. And then next, Dancing Dragons pre-release campaign, which we will get 3 from login bonus. And then a lot of these servants are going to be getting interludes, so that means that for a limited time, if you don't own them, you can do them. The problem is that I own a lot of these, so I don't know. I think for the most part I have to count them as like they're invalid, because it's likely for a lot of people to have already done them. But if you haven't done them, then I guess you can start counting these from when you start doing them, and that's a decent influx of sync quartz. But because I can't factor in whether or not you've already done them, like for me, I've done, I think for every single one of these I've already done. I think the only one I haven't done is maybe Leonardo da Vinci, but I think in the past she did have one, so it's likely that I have already done it. But just for simplicity's sake, I'm not counting any of them, but feel free to count them for yourself if you haven't done them yet. And then next, after that, we have Interlude Campaign 20. Now this one we do get to count, because both of these dudes are getting 2 new ones. Taigong Wong is getting a strengthening, so that's 2 sync quartz plus 1 from over here for a grand total of 3 sync quartz. And then just like the last one, 2 tickets from login bonus. And then we move over to the Dancing Dragon Castle. And inside the Dancing Dragon Castle, we get 7 from the main quest. Not showing them all, but we get 7 from here. Another additional 2 from the Kiyohime, because she's going to be getting an update for a strengthening, and that will give us an additional 2 sync quartz. And then 3 tickets from the points ladder from over here. So 1, 2, 3. A lot of points though, that's for sure. So that's Dancing Dragon Castle, and then we move over, and we're getting really close to anniversary now. Summer 2026 Participate Campaign Part 2, so we get to do it all over again. Tensei, oh wait, let me make sure I have it all here. So we have from Part 1, here it is, 10 sync quartz. This one will have to have cleared Ordeal Call Prologue, so again, make sure you do really have to be caught up or you're missing out on a lot of these sync quartz. Part 2, that's an additional 5. Part 3, additional 5. Part 4, additional 5. Part 5, an additional 5. And a lot of these are just related to doing main story quests between Arc 1 and Ordeal Call Prologue, but the big one here for 10, you have to have cleared the prologue for the Ordeal Call, which is beating to Lost Belt 7. So make sure that you're doing it and you get it done. Otherwise, you're gonna run into a decent amount of trouble here. Yeah, these go until a decent bit of time. At least while you're doing a lot of these. And obviously, if you've already completed them, you automatically just get a lot of these. So for me, I'm just gonna get all of these. I'm gonna get a total of 30 sync quartz just from this, because I've already had it all completed. And then we'll move on. A lot of the campaigns are here. Ooh. Once again, Trom is excluded. Anyway, I'm moving on. Ordeal Call Campaign 7. From here, we are going to get 6 sync quartz from missions. Clear these missions on the Bleached Earth and you'll get them. And then we move on to the FGO Expo. We're basically already almost at anniversary. Just one more thing, the FGO anniversary countdown. Now from missions we get a total of 18, which are the pavilion quest, the pavilion quests. So we get 18 sync quartz and 5 tickets. So here's the tickets right here, simple enough to remember on this one. And then in terms of the sync quartz, we can see them right here. So clearing all the pavilion missions will get you from right there, so make sure to do them when it's here. And just like previous time, this is also a start, dash, and comeback, but obviously not counting those once again. And then finally we make it to anniversary, and on anniversary we get a huge influx of sync quartz. So let me once again take a sip of my drink, and then we will continue breaking it down. Okay, took my drink and let us begin talking about it. So we go down here. This is where we're going to be getting a whole buttload of main quest clear count missions, main quest progress missions, main quest progress missions, and permanent and for limited time for main quest clear missions as well. So we get 36 from, you can see right here, a grand total of 36 Saint Quartz from the main quest progress count. And this is a limited mission count. So clear any Arc 1, Arc 2, Arc 2.5 main quest, story quests X amount of times. So if you're fully caught up, you just boom, get every single one of these and you'll, no problem. You automatically just get 36 Saint Quartz for doing nothing and a whole fuck ton of QP. And then we move on to another limited, which is a main story clear mission, which is clear ordeal called Prologue main story. You'll get 10 Saint Quartz. Then over to main story progress rewards. This is permanent, so even if you miss the window on this will always be, there's no miss window on this one. For the other ones you would, and this is all related to clearing story sections of the story from Orleans all the way to ID. And if the grand total of this one is 180 for getting caught up to and finishing ID. Then over here to the main story clear missions, which is clearing Paper Moon and clearing ID. That is another additional 20 Saint Quartz, 10 for Paper Moon, 10 for ID. And another permanent added to Servant Strengthening Quest. That's a good old 40. Over on free quests, this is 18, and that's from clearing some more advanced quests. This one, I still haven't cleared all the advanced quests, so I know I'm missing a lot of advanced quests, Saint Quartz, that I still need to grind out. But then there's free quest clear missions, and these unlocking all three of these will get you an additional 30 Saint Quartz. And then we have over class score, and class score is another permanent one that if you unlock 200 class score, then you'll have a total of 30 Saint Quartz from all of it. It starts from 110 and goes all the way to 200, and you've already done that, then you already collect all of those. Now another thing that I'm taking a note of, but I could not find here because I was looking for it like fucking crazy, but I could not find it. But I'm pretty sure they gave 100 Saint Quartz from the stream. So that's an additional 100 Saint Quartz due to the stream, and I think that's likely for us to happen at the same time especially during Anime Expo. They'll find a way to give it to us. So that puts it to a grand total of, assuming you did absolutely everything, 464 Saint Quartz. And again, this is the biggest fucking caveat of the entire video. That's if you're basically fully caught up on a lot of things. Now, this is the part where I think a lot of people are going to likely miss out on a lot of these Saint Quartz. You just have to remember to be able to do them. That's my best thing. To be able to guarantee that you get these 36 right away, because obviously if you don't get this 36 right away, you can just play some story, but you obviously won't get it right away. The way you solve that is just being fully caught up. You won't be able to get a lot of these. Obviously, you won't be able to get at least 40 of these if you have not cleared Paper Moon and ID and stuff like that. And some of the free quests you're not able to complete if you're not caught up in the story. For sure, servant strengthenings, if you don't have that many servants, then obviously you can't complete the servant strengthening, that's for sure. So a lot of these you're gonna have to kind of, and for class score, you have to have been caught up to Bleached Earth and started improving your class score. So I think that's also likely for a lot of people to miss it, but at least thankfully these are permanent. And the limited ones are not too difficult for you to kind of do stuff. You should, I think you should really focus in on making sure you have at least Ordeal Call Prologue finished. I would highly suggest being completely caught up by the end of this, but really, for sure, make sure that you are at least at Prologue, because you have a decent amount of time. Like I said at the beginning, you got 17 weeks to do it. I think it's possible if you start playing now and getting through it. And if you want to turbocharge it, then you would have to skip for the story, but I think if you started now and you were still reading, I think you'd be able to make it. And then the final things to take a note of is 10 tickets from login bonus, and then an additional 10 tickets from Da Vinci Shop. Where is the other? Is it part of? Yes, it is part of here. 10 tickets right here, because the Da Vinci shop will be like, hey, go ahead and pick up 10 tickets or some other stuff from me as well. Oh yeah, and before I forgot, because I did forget a little bit here, in servant strengthening wise, we do get some more sync quartz from this, because some of the servants that are getting strengthening, I can guarantee you own. I can guarantee that you have Guilds of Reyes. I can guarantee, I'm not counting Asclepius because he is limited, so I'm not going there. But you definitely likely own Billy the Kid, and you can also likely own Charlotte Corday, and I'm not also counting Red Horse for the same reason that I am not counting Asclepius, because I believe they are a story locked, which is the same thing as limited to me, but it means it's not possible for you to get them randomly, but it is possible for you to randomly get Gilles de Reyes, Billy the Kid, and Charlotte Corday. So there you go. That is where we ended off now. That is everything. That's how we get to our grand total of 942 Saint Quartz. So I guess a little bit of unwinding. If you were to start saving from the point you heard this video until the end of it, you would have enough to do a singular pity on anniversary with a little bit left over, because in the Saint Quartz it takes about 900, and with the tickets you almost get 100 because you're at 83. But obviously that also is accounting for you not summoning at all. Like, for example, if I were to be serious, I'm like, okay, Wokey, obviously I already have 300 tickets squared away for Space Rishkagal. But for summer and other stuff like that, it would be nice to be able to say, oh yeah, I can pity and get one of these two. Easy enough, right? The problem is that's also making me assume that I'm skipping these banners, which I'm not. Assuming I'm skipping the collab, which I'm not. And then from then on, I think I'm a little bit safer to do it. I think from there, I really don't plan to summon at all. As much as it would be cool to summon on Dancing Dragons. But as you can see here, if you have any plans to summon at all during this period, then this really isn't really you being able to go pity. It's very unrealistic, but it is at least nice to take an inventory and see, like, okay, I know for a fact how much Saint Quartz are coming at the dump end of it. If I can maneuver it in such a way that I get a whole buttload of Saint Quartz from Anniversary combined with the current ones I have a pretty good shot of at least getting something, right? I don't know. It's nice to know the numbers, but it's definitely one of those things of like, it's better to save over a longer term than to do it this way, like I was doing with my tickets, which I'm almost at, actually, believe it or not, 400 tickets for the 9th anniversary. I'm likely only going to be spending 300 of them, and I'm still evoking my clause, which says, it hasn't happened, but at any point, if they ever revealed a Summer Cuckoo, I'm going to stop saving it, because currently my plan is to use all 300 tickets. Actually, no, it's 2 years in advance. I have enough time. I have plenty of time. But anyway, that's the numbers, everyone, and that's the end of the video. I really hope that this was of some help to you. If it wasn't, then I'm sorry that you had to watch all through it, but if you made it all the way to the end, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It does help out a whole bunch, and I've had to re-record this one so many times because I made so many errors and forgot so many things. I forgot the weeklies for tickets and Saint Quartz, and I feel like I feel like complete garbage, but I have to get this done. That's also why, unfortunately, I'm a little bit scatterbrained, because tired as hell, but I'll finally get to rest, and I finally can start moving on onto some other projects that I've been meaning to do. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, peace out and bye-bye. Peace.